My name is Sue, and maybe you already know me, right? I've done several webinars this year, and I've been working with eFuture for more than 10 years. And today I'm going to introduce eFuture Classic Readers to you, okay? So what's the title of this webinar? Have fun with classic readers, right? Look at this boy. He looks very happy, right? Okay. Hi, Akemi from Japan. Welcome to this webinar. And let's get started. Okay. Yeah, look at this boy. He looks very happy, right? He's got his 2 thumbs up and he has a big smile on his face, right? I hope you are like this at the end of this webinar, right? So let's look at this reading cycle before we start. Okay, let's look at this one first, the vicious circle of the weak reader. Okay, are your students weak readers or good readers? Maybe some of them are weak readers, some of them are good readers. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the vicious circle of the weak readers first. So readers, so there's a reader who reads slowly, doesn't enjoy reading, doesn't read much, doesn't understand. Okay, maybe because of the vocabulary, maybe the grammar, maybe the content is not interesting. Okay, it's not fun, maybe too difficult, boring, or maybe the student has some problem with phonics. Okay, so these students will go around and around this circle, right? Doesn't understand, so read slowly, then doesn't enjoy reading, doesn't read much, right? So this is not good. We want our students to be the good readers, right? This is the cycle that we want, right? So a student reads faster, enjoys reading, reads more, understands better, okay? And it goes around and around like this. This is the virtuous circle of the good reader. Okay, this is the cycle that we want to create, right? We want our students to enjoy reading and understand better and read more, right? That's our goal as teachers, I guess, right? So today, I'm going to talk about graded classic readers, right? So what are they? What are graded classic readers? And how to use them? How to use graded classic readers with your students? What are the benefits? Why are we using graded classic readers with your students? Okay, so I'll be talking about this, but today I'll be focusing more on the stories, right? I've done many webinars on reading and graded readers, and I always talked about before reading, during reading, after reading activities, and reading skills, and reading fluency. But today I want to focus more on the stories so that you can enjoy the story itself. Okay? So what stories do you want to read today? Okay, let me stop sharing this screen. I've got something special here. I have my Halloween witch's hat, right? And I have a magic wand. I'm going to cast a spell on you, okay? And I have some cards with numbers, right? So here I have number 7, number 8, number 9, and number 10, okay? I'm going to mix these cards, okay? And then I'll choose one. Okay, I'm going to mix the cards and I chose one. Okay, Oh, what number is it? It's number 9. Okay, it's number 9. This is a magic number. Okay, so today you will be 9 years old. Okay, that's my magic. Okay, so you can read the stories from the eye of a 9-year-old child. Okay, are you happy about that? I hope you're happy about that. You will be young again, right? Okay, then. Yes. So how old are you? Everyone, how old are you? 9. Okay, you are 9-year-old today for this session. Yeah, very good. I'm 9. Okay. Yes. So we have 180 stories in our classic readers series. Okay, and these are systematically graded by CEFR guidelines, right? And classic readers are timeless, right? You can read them again and again. When you're young, you read these stories probably, right? And your children will probably read these stories, right? And they are enjoyable and educational. Okay, so we'll be finding out more about these stories. Okay, so we have some Aesop's Fables. Do you like reading Aesop's Fables? Yeah, some of these are very famous. The Ant and the Grasshopper, the Tortoise and the Hare, the Crow and the Fox, right? Yeah, this is Aesop. And he is a storyteller from ancient Greece, right? Okay. Oh, we have some fairy tales as well, right? Do you know who this is? Hans Christian Andersen, a Danish author, right? He wrote many stories like The Princess and the Pea, Thumbelina, The Ugly Duckling, The Little Match Girl, and more, right? And we have more fairy tales. And these two guys are the Grimm brothers, right? They are German authors. And yeah, they wrote many stories as well. The Wolf and the Seven Children, Snow White, the Frog Princess, right? You probably know all these stories. Yeah? Do you have any favorite stories? Yeah? Maybe we can do a poll, okay? I have some questions to ask you. Oh, let's read this first. Fairy tales are more than true, not because they tell us dragons exist, but because they tell us dragons can be beaten. Interesting, right? Okay, so which story do you want to read, right? Let's do a little poll. I'm going to do 3 stories today, but before we start, I have some questions to ask you. Okay, here we go. I have 2 questions. Do you see the poll? Yeah? So number 1 question is, which story do you want to read? Just choose one story, right? Remember, how old are you? You are 9 years old. Okay, so which story do you want to read? I'm going to present all these stories anyway, but I just want to see which one is the favorite. Okay, so can you check the box? First one is The Ant and the Grasshopper. Second one, The Tortoise and the Hare. And number 3 is The Wolf and the Seven Children. Okay, which one do you want to read? And number 2, have you read these stories in your language? Yes or no? Or, you don't know these stories. Then you can check the number 3 answer. Okay, so here we are. Let's do the poll. Can you check? Which is your favorite? Which story do you want to read? Are you familiar with these stories in your language? because these classic stories are adapted and they are translated into many different languages. Okay. So I just want to see if you've already read these stories in your language. Okay, so you want to read The Ant and the Grasshopper. That's probably the most popular one. Okay, that's my favorite too, actually. Yeah. And 79% of you have read these stories in your language. Okay, that's good. And 3% of you don't know these stories. Okay, so today's session will be very interesting for you guys. Okay, so let me finish this poll. Okay, now look at this. Remember, you are 9 years old. Okay, how do you feel? This story is from one of Aesop's fables, right? How do you feel? Do you want to read this story? Not really, right? It's too long, too many texts, right? Oh, I don't want to read this, right? There is a picture, but it's black and white. It's not really interesting. And it looks very difficult. Look at the sentences, right? The sentences are long and complex. And yeah, it's just not interesting. If you see something like this, then you'll probably close your book, right? You probably don't want to read. Yeah. How about this one? It's much, much more interesting, right? It's very colorful, right? Look at the wolf. Look at the facial expression, right? What's the title of the story? The Wolf and the Seven Children, and it's by the Grimm brothers. Okay, let's read the introduction. This is a story by the Grimm brothers. It is a story about listening to your mother and being safe. Okay, so Aesop's fables have messages, right? The lessons that we can learn from the stories. There's always a message, right? We can learn something after reading the story. Okay, so this is the message. Listening to your mother and being safe, right? And we have characters, goats, mother goat, and the wolf. Okay, yeah, it looks very interesting, right? Now look at this. Let's do the picture walk. Okay, so what do you see here? Looks very interesting, right? Here's the mother. Here's the mother goat, right? And she has a bag or basket. And she's wearing a hat. She's going somewhere, right? And how many children do you see? Let's count. How many children? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? There are 7 children. Yes. And they all look very cute, right? Boys and girls, right? Okay, now let's read the story. Let's read it together, okay? Mother Goat is talking to her 7 children. I'm going away today. Do not let the big bad wolf in the house. He will eat you, she says. Wow. What's going to happen? Can you guess the story? Can you predict the story? There will be a wolf, right? The big bad wolf will probably come. Okay. Would the wolf eat the children? Let's find out, right? But before we move on, let's read this part again, right? I'm going away today like a mother. Let's use mother's voice. Okay, let's all pretend, right? We are the mother goat. And let's read it again using mother's voice. Okay? I'm going away today. Do not let the big bad wolf in the house. He will eat you. Okay, maybe you need to do some actions as well, right? Act out. Yeah, did you read that part? Yes? Okay, now, wow, what do you see? You see the big bad wolf, right? The wolf is in the house. I'm skipping some parts, right? Because we cannot do the whole story. Right? We have limited time, right? So the big bad wolf is here. Look, what's he wearing? He's wearing a hat, right? He was pretending that he's the mother, right? The wolf goes in the house. I'm not your mother, but you are my dinner, he says. The little goats are very afraid. Okay, now let's read the wolf's line. Okay, like a wolf. Okay, ready? Let's read like a wolf. I'm not your mother, but you are my dinner. Okay, so it's very fun if you do this with your students, right? Okay, so we can predict the story and we can read with emotion. Yeah, that's right. So these are the activities that I'm doing today, right? If you look at these boxes, right, on the bottom of the slide, right, these are the activities that I'm doing today. Predict the story and read with emotion. So this is the ending of the story, right? What's happening? Here's the wolf. And who's this? The mother goat, right? She's chasing the wolf. So, yeah. Do you like this story? Let's read this. A mother goat comes home. My children are not your dinner, she says. She chases the wolf out of the house. Okay. So the good thing about having these good illustrations is that, you know, the illustrations help understand the story, right? You got a lot of clues in the picture, right? So even though it's, you know, if your English is, you have limited vocabulary maybe, right? But you can still understand the story by looking at the pictures, okay? And you practice reading the sentences and you match with the pictures, right? That will help understand the story. Okay, that's very good. Now we have the animations to watch. Okay, let's watch the animation. Okay, here we go.
Mother Goat is talking to her 7 children.
I'm going away today. Do not let the big bad wolf in the house. He will eat you,
She says.
Okay, remember this part, right? So you can do listen and repeat activity here, right? And listen and imitate as well. So students can practice reading the story many times. Okay, let's skip the part and go to the wolf, right? The wolf appears here. Okay.
It's Mother,
Says a goat.
she's home. Open the door.
The wolf goes in the house. I'm not your mother, but you are my dinner.
I'm not your mother, but you are my dinner, right? You can listen and repeat.
He says. The little goats are very afraid.
Okay, now mother comes
But
home.
Mother Goat comes home.
My children are not your dinner.
My children are not your dinner.
She says. She chases the wolf out of the house.
Okay, did you enjoy the story? Oh, you have a different ending.
The wise little girl.
Okay, so you have a different ending. What sort of ending do you have? Can you share the Japanese version of the ending? Yeah? Someone mentioned that you have different ending. So what's the ending in Japanese version? It'll be interesting to find out, right? But did you enjoy the story, right? What a strong mother. She chases the wolf and she kicks the wolf, right? Yes, students will love this, right? Don't you think so? Yeah, they will love it. And a mother and kids kill the wolf. Ah, okay. So these fairy tales and classic stories, especially Aesop's fables, they are adapted, right? So they can have different endings. With stone. Ah, okay. And with your students, you can create your own ending as well. Right? It'll be very interesting for your students to create their own version, right? Okay, that's good. Now let's go back to the slide. Yeah, so I'm giving you these ideas for your lessons, right? So you can always, you can be flexible, you can be creative, you can adapt these ideas for your students, right? Okay, so we've watched the animation. And now let's move on to our next story, the ants and the grasshopper. Okay, now let's look at this, right? Remember, you're 9 years old. When you look at this, how do you feel? It's got some pictures here, right? So it looks interesting, right? We can see the grasshopper and the ants, right? How many ants? 1, 2, 3, 3 ants. Okay, and what are the ants doing? They are working, right? They are working with some grain. And what does the grasshopper has? A violin, right? Yeah. Okay, now let's read the story, right? Remember, you're 9 years old, right? See if you can read this. This story is not graded. Okay, I think this version is for native children, right? So let's try to read this. One bright day in late autumn, a family of ants were bustling about in the warm sunshine. Bustling? Do you know this word? Maybe, maybe not. Drying out the grain they had stored up. Stored up. During the summer, when a starving grasshopper, starving, maybe, do you know starving? His fiddle under his arm. Fiddle, right? Maybe you can explain because you have the picture here, right? So this is the violin, right? That's the fiddle. Okay, starving, very hungry, right? You can explain these words, right? But if a child is reading this by himself or by herself, right, this might be too difficult, right? Although it looks easy, but if you actually look at the vocabulary level, it's not easy, right? Let's keep going. His fiddle under his arm came up and humbly begged for a bite to eat, right? Now we have several words, several difficult words. What? Cried the ants in surprise. Haven't you stored anything away for the winter? What in the world were you doing all last summer? what in the world? That's, this world doesn't mean the world that we know, right? This is an expression. Okay, so these things make reading difficult, right? So although it looks easy, maybe with the pictures, right? But it's not easy for your students, right? If your students are in maybe A1 level, A1, A2 level, this will be difficult, right? So I analyzed the vocabulary here. Okay, here. Do you know this website, English Profile? If you go to this website, right, here's the address, you can check the level, difficulty level of the words. Okay, you can type the word here. Okay, so I typed grain, and grain is C2 level according to CEFR. Okay, so if you have a word and you want to check the level according to CEFR, then you can go to this website and check. Okay, so that's what I did with these words. Okay, so here, remember bustling? Bustle is not even on the list. Okay, I couldn't find bustle in the profile, right? Grain, C2. Store, B2. Starving, C1. Fiddle was not on the list. Humble, C2. Bag, B2. Bite, B1. Surprise, A2. Right? So if your students are like A1, A2 level, this story is just too difficult. Right? The website is here. You can just search. Here, I'll show you the slide again. Yeah, here's the website, englishprofile.org. Okay, just search English profile. Then you can get into this website. Okay, it can be quite useful, right? If you want to check the difficulty level, the vocabulary level of reading material. Right? Or you can download the word list from Cambridge website. Okay, so this is the word list that I downloaded from Cambridge assessment website. So these words are from pre-A1, starters level. So they provide the word list, right, in alphabetical order. So all these words are for starters level. Right, so they have word list for pre-A1, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. So you can check this as well. You can go through the list and see if you can find the words on the list. Right? Okay, anyway, that story was just too difficult, right? If your students are A1, A2 level. Okay? Because that story is not graded. That story is probably for native children, right? So graded readers are graded. The vocabulary is graded. Grammar is graded, right? So you will usually see levels like this, right? This is S starter level, okay? And if you look at the back of the book, they usually give you a chart like this. And usually they are color coordinated for the levels. Okay, so this one is starter level, right? CFR A1, head words 200, word count 153. So if you want to find the books that are right for your student's level, then check a level chart like this. Okay, so the Ant and the Grasshopper. Let's read this story, right? This story is by the Greek writer Aesop. This story teaches us about hard work. So this story is about hard work. Characters, ant and grasshopper. And these are the words to know, right? So for the words, you can do many activities with the words, right? You can use the real objects, you can use the pictures, you can use the flashcards, right? And so you can check the words first, and you can read the story, right? Let's look at the picture first, right? What do you see here? Do you see the grasshopper? Yeah. What does the grasshopper have? This is not violin, right? This is another version, right? This is a guitar, right? And look at the flowers and the grass. Okay. And the grasshopper looks very happy. Look at his face, right? Very happy. Maybe he's singing or dancing, right? Let's read the story together. Okay. It is a sunny summer day. The grass is green, the sky is blue. Grasshopper is jumping up and down. He's singing a song. He's happy. Okay. Let's look at the words. Are there any difficult words for your students? Right? I mean, is there any difficult word for you? Are there any words, for you? You are 9 years old. Your level is A1. Okay. If you are reading this story, are there any words that you don't know? Sunny, summer, day. The grass is green. The sky is blue. It's all very easy, right? Basic words. I think all these words are from A1 level, pre-A1, A1. Grasshopper is jumping up and down. He's singing a song. He's happy, right? You can understand the story and you can look at the picture and you can actually enjoy the story because you understand, right? And you want to read more, right? You can also act out or visualize the story. Okay, let's do that after reading the next page. So grasshopper sees ant, right? Do you see ant here? Yes. What's the ant doing? She's working, right? She has a big corn here. Grasshopper sees ant. She's working hard. She's finding corn. Come, talk with me, ant. Let's sing a song, says grasshopper. Okay, now let's do some action. Okay, let me stop sharing this. Okay, so you can do role play. You can act out the story. Maybe you can use props like this, right? I have the puppets, right? I have the grasshopper and the ant. Okay, and you can read the story using these puppets. Okay. It is a sunny summer day. The grass is green, the sky is blue. Grasshopper is jumping up and down, up and down. Okay. He's singing a song. La 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 la. He's happy. Okay. So use flashcards or puppets, right, to make it more interesting for your students, right? Let me go back to my slide. And we also have worksheets. Okay, so if you want to do some extra activities with the classic readers, then you can download these worksheets. Okay, so this is the before reading activity you can do with your students. Okay, so there will be the story has spring and then winter, right? It's got the seasons. So you can talk about the seasons before you read the story, right? This will provide the background, right? This is good for background knowledge, right? So you can talk about the seasons, right? Spring, summer, autumn, and winter, right? Talk about each season and the activities you can do, right? And this is for during reading. Okay, this is a vocabulary practice, right? You can look at the picture and find the word and write the word. This is look and write the missing words, use the word bank. So you are completing the sentence. Grasshopper is blank a song, right? So what can go there? Singing, okay? And this is another during reading activity. This is a comprehension activity, true or false, right? Grasshopper is singing a song, true or false. So you can check students' comprehension. And after reading the story, you can do a book report. Okay, so here you can write your name and the date and book title. So you can write the ant and the grasshopper here. Draw a picture you like from the book. Okay, do you have any favorite picture? And you can draw a picture here. Maybe you can draw a grasshopper singing, or you can draw the ant working. Okay? Write a sentence from the book for this picture, right? So you can write the sentence about the picture. Right? This is simple and easy book report, right? And here's the lesson, right? Circle the best word. Work hard and save, sing now for the future. So what's the answer? Work hard and sing now for the future? No, work hard and save now for the future, right? So this is the lesson for this story. Okay. We also have a model lesson video for the classic readers. If you visit our website, here's the address, right? Not website, YouTube channel, right? Go to eFuture YouTube channel, right? Here's the link, right? Then you can find lots of model lesson videos, right? So if you watch this, then you can follow, right, from pre-reading, during reading, and then to the after reading. And you can do the activities. You can watch and do the same activities with your students. Okay, so please visit our YouTube channel and check out these model lesson videos. Okay, now let's move on to our third story. Oh, before we move on, I actually have the animation for that as well. So do you want to watch the animation? Yeah? Okay, this was your favorite story, right? When I did the poll, the ant and the grasshopper was your favorite story. So let's watch the animation. Okay, here we go. All these animations are on our YouTube channel too. Okay, so visit our YouTube channel and watch these animations. Okay, here we are, the ant and the grasshopper.
The ant and the grasshopper. It is a sunny summer day. The grass is green. The sky is blue. Grasshopper is jumping up and down. He is singing a song. La 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 la. He is happy. Grasshopper sees ant. She is working hard. She is finding corn. Come talk with me, ant. Let's sing a song, says Grasshopper. La 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 la.
Okay, now we'll have to stop there, but let's try visualizing the story, right? I'll play this again, but this time, can you close your eyes? Close your eyes and listen to the story again, right? And try to imagine. See if you can draw the picture in your head. See if you can actually see the grasshopper and the ant, right? You can see if you can see the grasshopper singing and jumping up and down, right? So try to imagine in your head just by listening to the story. Okay, let's try this. Now, can you close your eyes and listen and imagine?
And the grasshopper. It is a sunny summer day.
Okay, do you see the grass and the flowers in your head? Yes? Okay, good. Okay, keep going.
The grass is green. The sky is blue. Grasshopper is jumping up and down. He is singing a song. La 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 la. He is happy.
Okay, did you visualize the story? Yes? Okay, that's very good. Okay, good. So you can actually see the story in your head, right? Okay, so this is a good practice. You will read the story, you'll listen to the story, you will read it again, and you'll do the activities. And while you are doing the activities, you read the story again, right? And then you'll visualize the story, you'll listen to the story again. So there's a lot of repetition, right? And after all this repetition, students will achieve fluency, right? But this is all very interesting and very fun, right? For children. Yes, very lovely and lively. That's right. Yeah, good cycle. Yeah, that's right. This is the cycle that we want to create, right? Okay, now you've already memorized the story, I think, right? I think you've already memorized the story. It is a sunny summer day. Okay, the grass is green. Yes, the sky is blue. Okay, see, you've memorized the story already. Very good. Grasshopper is jumping up and down, right? The grasshopper is jumping up and down. Very good. He is singing a song. La 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 la. He is happy. Okay, very good. So you can do the story. You can tell the story already, right? Very good. So please try this with your students, right? You can read the story together, do the picture walk, read the story, and act out the story and visualize the story, right? And student can just tell you the story. Okay, now let's go back to my slide because we have our last story, which is the tortoise and the rabbit. Okay, so here, the tortoise and the rabbit. And these are the Korean versions, right? Can you see the Korean writing here? 토끼와 거북이, that's what it says, right? I'm sure you have your version in your language, right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, student can naturally memorize, right? They can memorize, they can tell the story, right? And they can maybe perform the story, right? And they can tell the story to their mother or father, or even their younger brother or sister, right? They can tell the story. And this can be a very good homework. You know, when I was teaching, I always give this homework. After finishing the story, right? Read the story to your mom 3 times. Or retell the story to your baby sister, right? That can be a very good homework. So anyway, the tortoise and the rabbit. And I'm sure you know this story, right? Let's read it together. Okay, what's happening here? The rabbit is running, but this is not this is the ending of the story, actually. This is the last scene of the story. The rabbit is running, right? The rabbit is sweating. But who's coming to the finishing line first? The tortoise, right? Yeah, here's the finishing line here. Okay, so let's read together. Ready? Go. Rabbit wakes up. He looks for tortoise. Tortoise is very near the finishing line. Oh no, he thinks. Rabbit runs and runs and runs to the finishing line. I will win, he thinks. Tortoise wins the race. Everybody's happy with tortoise. Yay! Everybody's very happy, right? They're all cheering. And tortoise smiles at rabbit and says, slowly, slowly is the way. Rabbit is embarrassed. Okay, look at the rabbit. The rabbit is embarrassed. Okay, so you can read the story and we have a story review section in the book. Okay, so we provide the pictures. So you can look at the picture and you can tell the story. Okay, or you can cut these cards. You can cut out the cards, mix them, and put them in the correct sequence. Okay, this will be a very good sequencing activity. Okay, and this is already included in the book as a story review, right? And we also have a book report. Okay, this one is a little bit different from the book report that we saw earlier because the level is higher. This one you can see more text, right? The one we saw before has the empty space for drawing pictures, right? But this one is actually a summary. So let's look at this. You can write the name and the date and the book title, right? So you can write the tortoise and the rabbit, right? And words. Write 3 words you learned from the story. So students will read the story again and they'll choose 3 words that they learned from the story, right? In order to do this, they'll have to read the story again, right? And summary. So at this level, it's too difficult for students to write a summary. So we provide a summary, but then we have the blanks, okay, for students to fill in. So we have the words embarrassed, faster, finishing, race, slowly. Okay, so maybe you can do this together if your students need some help, right? Or, if the students are capable of doing this, they can just do this by themselves. Rabbit says he is blank than everybody. So what's the word for this blank? Anyone? Faster, right? That's right. Rabbit says he's faster than everybody, right? Tortoise is angry and says he will blank rabbit. He will race rabbit. Okay, so you can complete the summary together and then do the lesson. Okay, so what did we learn from this story? Slow and steady wins the lettuce or race? Race, right? Okay, so this is the message of this story, right? And we also provide a playlet for students to do the role play. Okay, so let's read this. So cast rabbit, tortoise, and dog. Scene in a small town. Everybody's listening to Rabbit. And Rabbit says, I'm faster than everybody. No one can win a race against me. Right? The rabbit is very proud. Right? I'm the fastest. Tortoise is very angry with Rabbit. Tortoise. Yes, you are fast, but you cannot win every time. Okay, so students can do the role play because we provide the role play script. Okay. And this is our YouTube channel again, right? We have storytime videos. We have about 7 or 8 storytime videos there. And Gary and I did the role play, right? So yeah, visit our YouTube channel and watch these videos, right? It's interesting. Some of them are really funny. Okay, maybe I can show you this, right? I'll show you some of these videos. Okay, and we also do some activities. So you can watch the activities that we do, and then you can use those ideas for your lesson, right? So let's go back to our YouTube channel so that I can show you the video. Okay, here we are. Okay, not this one. We finished this already.
Grasshopper sees ant.
Now let's go to Sue and Gary's story time, which is this one. Okay, here we go. This is the role play section. Okay.
The scene, we are starting in our small town.
Okay.
So everybody's listening to Rabbit.
I'm faster than everybody. No one can win a race against me.
Yes, you are fast, but you cannot win every time.
So you think you can win, do you?
Yes, I can. Let's race.
You? Okay, let's race.
Yes.
Okay,
So next step.
do you like this? I'll show you the ending. So the rabbit is
I'll
eating
wait
the
there
lettuce.
For you. When
Okay,
you come, I'll walk to the finish line.
and the rabbit falls asleep. Okay,
Slowly, slowly.
Oh no! Tortoise will win! Rabbit runs to the finishing line, but Tortoise wins.
I win!
Oh! Did you enjoy the role play?
okay,
It's quite fun, right?
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay.
okay. So did you enjoy the role play? Yeah. Okay. So there are lots of videos on our YouTube channel. So please visit and check out the videos. Cute. Thank you. Okay, so go back to our slide. And it's always fun to use some props, right? Do you see the headband that I made, right? And you can see the puppets, right? And try to use those props that will make it more interesting. Yeah. Okay. So let's do a sum up, right? So in Future Classic Readers, we have 12 levels and 180 readers. We provide audio files and animations for 60 readers, and we have downloadable worksheets and activities, right? And we also have, we did Aesop's Fables and some fairy tales, but we also have folk tales, right? So we have folk tales from Greece, South America, Russia, China, Japan, right? We have all these folk tales as well, right? And of course, we have classic literature for the higher level, right? We have A Christmas Carol, Romeo and Juliet, The Life and Adventures of Robinson Crusoe, and we have all these classic stories as well. Okay, and these are our editors. You probably know these famous, well-known professors, right? Rob Waring and Paul Nation. They work closely with us, and they did presentations for our expert webinar series. And again, we have the videos on our YouTube channel, right? And so here we are again. Remember this cycle of the good reader? Okay, so this is what we want to create. Okay, let's look at number 1. Student begins to read the story, right? The students start to read The Ant and the Grasshopper. Students is interested in the story, right? It's got lots of colorful pictures and it's easy and it's fun, right? So students is interested. Because number 3, we have graded vocabulary, graded grammar, and age-appropriate themes and the content. So students actually understand the content, right? And if you understand something, then it's fun. It's interesting because you understand. Number 4, student feels confident and comfortable with the story. Number 5, student builds a positive association with reading. The students will say, oh, I like reading. I enjoy reading. I want to read more English books. Right? That's our goal, creating this cycle, right? A positive association with reading. So why classic readers? It's timeless. You've read the stories. Your students will read the stories, right? And it provides cultural background, or sometimes historical background as well. And it contains, the classic readers have life lessons. The characters usually have courage, wisdom, or emotional empathy. And, values, kindness, honesty, and diligence. Okay, you can learn, about all these things from the classic readers. And imagination. Okay, students will love these stories, right? Children naturally love stories, right? They always ask you, "Mommy, can you read the story? Daddy, can you read the story?" Right? They just naturally love stories, and they imagine, right? When they hear the story, when they read the story, they will imagine in their head. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. Okay, so read them fairy tales. Oops. Sorry. This is the e-catalog. You can look at all our readers from this e-catalog. You can see the sample pages. It's not only classic readers, we have all these other readers as well. So if you are interested in our readers, then you can go to this website. This is the e-catalog website, and you can check out the sample pages. Okay, so we've looked at the stories, right? And we enjoy reading the stories. Then how do you use them? How can you use these readers? You can use these graded classic readers in the curriculum. You can add them into your curriculum. Okay, so I'll give you examples. Example one, if you teach, our teaching situation is all different, right? I used to teach 3 classes per week, 3 English lessons per week, and each lesson was 50 minutes. Okay, so what I did was, I did 40 minutes of the main course book and then 10 minutes for readers. Okay, so even though it's 10 minutes, right, you can do 2 pages. I usually did 2 pages for 10 minutes. You can read, you can do activities, right? You can listen to the stories for 10 minutes. It's really fun. Students will be waiting for this 10 minutes. Okay, so you can do it this way, right? You can use both the course book and the readers. Okay, or look at example 2. If you have 3 classes per week, you can do 1 class for readers. Okay, so this was my example. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? I taught these classes. So Monday and Wednesday, I used the course book. And Friday, I used readers because Friday was special, right? It's a special readers day. Okay, so you can be creative. You can always add readers into your curriculum, right? By doing it for 10 minutes a day, or you can have a special day for the readers, okay? Or you can just, have a collection of classic readers in the library, or maybe at the back of your classroom. Okay, you can have a little bookshelf. You can put the classic readers there so students can read anytime, right? During the lunch break or during the 10-minute break between the classes. Okay, if students come to school early, they can read these books. Okay, so have the classic readers available, like a mini library in the classroom, or in the main library, you can have these readers so students can visit and read these readers by themselves. Right? This is the extensive reading, right? Students can choose the books that they like and read. Or students can read graded readers at home, okay? So we also have e-library. We turned all our paper books into ebooks and we put them on our e-library, okay? So what you can do is you can ask your students to read the ebooks on e-library at home. Right? When they come to class, you can use the physical book to do the lesson. Okay, so this is kind of like blended model. Okay, so there are many ways of using these readers. Okay, in the class, at home, right? But whichever way, try to have fun with your students, right? That's what it's all about, right? We have other readers, not only the classic readers, but we have phonics readers, right? Phonics fun readers and also smart phonics readers. If your students need practice with phonics, then choose phonics readers. And when they finish phonics readers, when they feel comfortable with reading the sentences, then you can start to introduce the classic readers. We also have Little Sprout readers. These are nursery rhyme readers. Okay, so you can read the story, you can sing the song, and you can watch the animations and the videos. Okay? And we also have comic readers. Okay, these are all graded comic readers. Okay, so for this webinar, you can complete the survey and get the certificate. Okay, or if you have a problem, you can contact our partners, or you can email us, right, for the certificate and for more information about our readers. Okay, and our next webinar is a very special one. We have a special session, which is eFuture Q&A session. Okay, so if you have any questions about teaching English to young children, then please send us your questions and we'll try to answer the questions, right? So send us your questions, right? And here's the registration link for our next webinar, which is on the 23rd or 24th, right? Asia, 23rd, Latin America, 24th. Okay, so please check the time and the date, and here's the registration link, and send us your questions. Thank you, and keep in touch with eFuture, right? Here's the Facebook and the YouTube channel, right? And Weibo, and contact details, and e-catalog for readers. Okay, so that's all from me today. We'll finish by reading this quote. Children read to learn, even when they are reading fantasy, nonsense, light verse, comics, or the copy on the cereal packets. They're expanding their minds all the time, enlarging their vocabulary, making discoveries. It is all new to them. Okay, so let's create this positive reading cycle. Okay, thank you very much, and see you again. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you for coming to our webinars. Thank you for joining us, and yeah, I hope you have a lot of fun, and have fun with classic readers with your students, right? Try to do the activities that I did with you today, and yeah, have fun. Thank you. Good night and goodbye. See you next time.